set up quickly, so I'll make it look like later. Hello, everyone. We are now live. So
Yes.
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 Oh, look, we've got this guy.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you're the floating head guy.
We've got Holiday.
You know what you mean. We click this and see how badly it goes wrong.
Yeah, he's the guy who does that thing with the quo stands.
Quo stands.
Yeah, the quastins. How many
Yes.
ways have I misspelt questions on Twitter now?
Every way possible, I think. Oh, hello. How you doing?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Hello, people in the place, the chat world. Send me questions if you want them to be asked. Yes. I'm out of my scripted show voice now, so I don't know what I'm talking about. So I thought we'd do a little after show. We've got Marie D. L. Ephant in here. And you can ask her stuff. I was going to say about the non-monogamy thing. I have some friends who there was more classically themed couple of man and woman. They were married for a while. I was at the wedding. It was great. And a while later, they've now sort of adopted a new partner. So there's now 3 of them.
So they've got them and then the little puppy partner?
Sort of. They've basically, them as a couple are both dating this other girl who is also, it's really handy for them actually, because it adds, they were all living together in the same house for cost reasons, and also they just liked each other, and it works out a lot more easily in terms of living space as well, because they don't need as many beds.
Yeah.
But you often do need a bigger bed.
Yeah, they got that. I had to reinforce it for them.
We ended up with a single and a double, king size and a single. Although for a long time we just made a bed on the floor every night.
Yeah, they got this extremely wide bed that's wide enough for that many humans, and
Wow.
then discovered that it wasn't designed for the weight of that many humans. So so they bought like a load of stronger wooden slats, and then I went round and fitted them all for them and cut them to length and fitted it all. So now they have a reinforced bed that they can actually lay on without feeling like they're all going to fall through the middle.
See, you're a poly ally. Look at you.
Well, I may do a little bit of stuff myself, but I'm quite private about my personal affairs.
Understandably.
By the way, I said in the chat, if you want to come in here, then get in here, because otherwise I'm just going to be here doing this thing that I do, where I'm not really sure what I'm talking about, so I'm going to say like half syllables of words until somebody takes over.
I understand.
Do you reveal how old you are? I'm intrigued.
Well, that depends who you're asking, doesn't it? Though?
Marie, I wouldn't ask you. You don't.
Yeah, I'm 38.
Fair enough.
My half birthday is in October, so I'll be expecting a lot from my fans. Because we celebrate half birthdays. I mean, literally every day should be our birthday, like, because we're alive. Like, what? How fucking absurd is that? Like, that's insane.
That's a good point.
Again, if this is the way I tend to look at lots of things like these in terms of numbers, and the probability of you being alive is just astronomically against.
Exactly. And I like hearing you say that, because it's in a UK accent, which makes me think of Douglas Adams, which makes me think of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and how lovely that book is and how it says things like that.
There's a Toblerone on your head. Look out.
Yes. How did I end up with the Toblerone?
Dave, look out. Toblerone on you. Look out.
Dave, look out.
It's coming for you. You can fall on the floor again.
Badger thinks it's the Toblerone that burst the yogurt ball.
I watched that video, that Toblerone, as soon as it was out of view behind you, your ball popped. That's my conspiracy for the day.
That's your conspiracy. Have you seen my new ball? As in my new background ball, which I can't make go faster. It'll come past at some point.
Background ball.
Oh, I see. Is it a floaty ball?
It's floating in space.
That's fabulous. We shall see this ball soon, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, Dave's known me on the internet for a while now, and he's come to the conclusion that he knows my answers to a lot of the questions that people tend to ask, and my answer to most of them is none of your business.
Fair enough.
See him nodding there, just like, yep.
It's worse than that, because when she asked something earlier, I'm going, I know the answer to that, and I don't know whether he'd want me to say. No, I'm going to say shut up.
Yeah.
Whereas with most people, I would have just answered when he started stuttering.
Yeah, it's the classic. Just most questions, it's that my answer is. But if I do have a Facebook page. It's not for this. It's for the people I know in person, and very few of those. So the Facebook, almost every field on that Facebook page is some variation of none of your business, stalker. But one of my relatives was trying to find me on there. I just went, let's put it in. There's a couple of people it could be. Which one is it? And then it looked under job. It just says none of your business, stalker. That's that one.
How do you identify you? How open were you before you went poly?
How open?
Yeah.
To what?
To talking about your relationship.
Oh, I've always been pretty transparent about everything, which that is a really good recipe to get out of religion. To be self-aware and to feel compelled to discuss your inner experiences. So yeah, I mean, I've always been an open book, I guess is the phrase to put it. I just care a lot less now about certain things. There's certain things I still feel very protective about, but on the whole, like, because Delafont's not my fucking last name. It's not.
No. It's what?
It's not fucking Delafont. It's LePage, but I just don't like to put it in print. It's just like, I'll say it, but in print, I don't like it being in print.
Where did Delafont come from?
Oh, so that's a fun story. Oh, and there's a question waiting for us too.
You're saying it Delafont? I've been saying it DL.
No, you've not. We were deliberately trying to pronounce it poorly because it was fun.
I remember that. I put in the group chat on the Twitter that I put the link and Aftershow with Marie D.L. Ephant.
I love it. Well, so Dave, the way I came up with Delafont was it happened about 3 years ago. I'd been poly for about 6 months and fell in love with someone, and it was very enmeshed, like just like any other relationship you'd have. And it got to the point where it's like, do I keep lying to my family like every day about little things about what I'm doing? Like I wasn't trying to tell them what we did in bed. Like it's just those random things you tell your family about what you're doing with people that you love. And so I got to that point where I was like, I was going to keep this private from my family because they're Christian and I don't think they would approve. And so finally I was like, you know what? Fuck them. I'm not doing anything unethical. And if they have an issue with that, that's their problem, not mine. So I told them, they reacted poorly. I stopped talking to them for a year. And so during that time, I'm in therapy and I'm processing what that feels like. And my therapist does this thing called sand tray therapy. So it's like this big tray like you'd see in like a child's playroom, like in some playrooms. And it just has like, maybe like an inch or two of sand. And then over here on the shelf, she's got like a lot of little different like little action figures, like maybe like a little snake or a little character from a movie, or like it's just random little characters, like hundreds of them. And you just kind of go pick some arbitrarily, things that you like, things that you hate. And then it's a lot to explain, but you kind of go through this abstract processing of things on the sand tray using these characters. And eventually these characters kind of start forming symbolism of something that's beyond being able to describe verbally. So it's a way for your brain to process things through symbols instead of words, because when you have trauma, it's very difficult to put things into words. And so in the sand tray therapy that I was doing around the rejection of my parents, of my identity as an atheist, as someone who's poly, as someone who's liberal, all those things, this little green elephant, and I think I still have him. I don't know where he is.
Were you meant to steal him?
Yeah, she gave it to me. My therapist gave it to me. So it's like this elephant like this, but he was very, very small. It was like this big. And that character on the sand tray ended up representing like the core of me. There was a different character for my body, but this character was like, this is me, unfiltered, true to myself. And so in that year, I was like, you know what? I don't like my last name because it reminds me of the family I came from, who thinks that their, arbitrary morals are more important than like solid ethics. And so I changed my last name on Facebook just because I was pissed. And I changed it to Delafont because I was like, I am of the elephant. I am pure. I am me. I am wonderful as I am. I don't need to apologize for who I am. And then it was maybe like a year later when I started showing up on platforms, and I didn't really want to use my name, Marie LePage. I wanted to use a pseudonym in case I ever try to get a job in a cubicle again. So that's kind of how it came about. It was a therapeutic thing for me, and it just kind of suits really what I'm doing here. And it reminds me of why I'm here.
Do you... what was it worse for your? Let's go another way. What terms are you on with your parents now?
We're on pretty good terms. They eventually realized that they missed me. I mean, I think they already did, but they realized that I wasn't about to back down. I demand acceptance as I am, and I will not compromise on that. And I think they've really missed me and realized that it's more important to have me in their life than to decide whether I'm doing things that are right or wrong to them. And so eventually we reconnected. I asserted myself and let them know that if they made any more judgments on my choices, that I would be backing out again. And I had a very assertive conversation with them that was incredibly healing for me. It made me feel very aligned with my elephant inside. And since then we've been kind of repairing things, and I've become a lot less apologetic for myself. And I was just there over July 4th. We all sat in the backyard, socially distant and everything. And I just told them all about the wonderful world of cannabis. And and I brought that up like a number of times already, because I'm like, you guys, like, I just want you to know, like, this is something we don't need to hate or fear. Like, this is actually really good for me. And my dad's like, oh, it's just that I'm in my 70s now, and I don't want to fuck with my cognition because I don't want to have dementia. And I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to convince you to do pot, but I'm trying to tell you that even if cannabis takes a few years off of my life, those years that I did have would have been so much better because of the cannabis. I am willing to die early. And again, cannabis, I don't think is going to do that to people, but I'm just saying, like, it makes that much of an impact on me. And so anyway, I just don't care anymore. And so now I just kind of push their limits every time we hang out, and respectfully, and it ends up being really great conversations. And they've really shown up in ways I didn't expect. Like, they've got a Black Lives Matter sign on their driveway now. And like my dad went to a protest, my mom volunteered at a protest. And so I see them growing beyond their own religion. Like they are better than their religion. They believe in Jesus and a personal relationship with Jesus, but they're totally against the Trump shit. They align with their morals and not the morals of their church. And that's something I've been learning recently. And I adore them because I've realized that they have integrity that is not bound into their religion and their church.
Where would you have said their political stance was 5 years ago?
Honestly, I thought that they were conservative for the long. I thought they were, like, the entire time we grew up. I thought we were Republican, because we didn't talk about that in this family. And It was only until like a few years ago, my dad's like, yeah, no, we're Democrats. Like I was like, what? And like, there was that other day when my dad told me, yeah, no, I believe in evolution. I'm like, what? So like, they're a lot more progressive than I ever was. I think the religious shit that I had was a lot from the church that I went to and less from their particular indoctrination of me. And so it's been pretty cool to see who they actually are. And yeah.
I think it's hard for parents to go against whatever their church is teaching.
Yeah.
Even if they think evolution is bullshit, if the church is teaching that, I think it's why it's so dangerous Ken Ham offering fucking free trips in public school to because the parents, they go home to the parents. The parents aren't going to argue if they're Christian. My original question before I asked that was going to be, do you think it was harder for them when you came out as an atheist or when you came out as poly?
That's hard to answer, because when I came out as atheist, it was already something I had been waffling back and forth on since I was 13. And since I'm an open book, like, the first people I would email about my faith crisis of the day would be my mom. So like they've watched it happen. They didn't really get involved too much. I think that I'm very different than them. I'm a very emotional, self-reflective kind of person, and they're not. And so they just kind of like watch loving really, really, really hard, but not really knowing how to deal with it. So yeah. And Aunt Jer is asking if I have children. I don't have children. I don't want to have children. I choose to live child-free, not childless. That was another choice that I made after reading 3 books. I physically cannot have children anymore because of a decision I made. Albeit your following question is, what do you think is a good way of navigating those relationships? I assume you mean like if you are poly and have children. I think that
one was easy.
Yeah, I mean, kids, it's the same kind of question of like, okay, well, how do you explain to your kids about gay marriage? Like, you just tell them people love each other. You just take the limits off, you know?
Well, that's only a problem if they've already been sort of indoctrinated into that marriage can only be this one thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that, though. I think the problem is if they turn around and say, I mean, our daughter grew up with 2 mums and 1 dad in the house all the time for quite a large portion of her childhood. And the problem is lots of kids grow up with multiple mums and dads. It's not unique. Whenever the people look at poly and they think it's weird, well, it's not weird. The fact that they all live together, that might be a bit odd. But that's it. That's the only odd bit. And that's great. That's just another adult in the house.
Yeah.
Look at that, that's dosing on you.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of pros. I mean,
there's a lot of community we have lost.
Yeah.
I was shouting in the chat when you were talking about monogamy being about it working for everyone. The relationship we have that is monogamous was built for a society that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Where the support structures and the close-knit society around it.
It was built for much smaller communities.
Yes. The point is, your best friend was never meant to be your partner. Shh.
Right.
You went out and you saw half a dozen of your mates at work every day, and you had a close relationship with them.
Yeah.
A one-on-one relationship can never be everything.
Yeah.
Or virtually never.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's impossible, right? And that's not to say you want a sexual relationship or even a partner relationship with other people. But there are things that your partner cannot provide that really your friends and other people should be.
Yeah. We have this weird standard for romantic and sexual relationships because nobody's asking you, how do you manage to love 3 children? I don't know, because I'm a human being and made of endless love. It's not incredibly difficult to love many people.
In the chat.
Yes. Oh, there's a follow-up from Aunt Jer. So the legal navigation is what they're talking about in terms of children. So personally, I'm not in a situation where I'm in like a triad is what they're called, or a quad or anything. So I haven't had to be in a situation where, well, first of all, like I'm not trying to marry anyone additionally. There is no chance. There is zero chance that I'm going to meet a new partner and be like, I want to marry you. I am not interested in marriage. I happen to be married right now, but that's because I did that 10 years ago, and it's beneficial to taxes, and it would cost a lot of money to divorce him just for the sake of it. But not everyone who's ethically non-monogamous is looking to get married. That's the other piece of what people assume about ethical non-monogamy. They think that it's people just trying to get married to a lot of different people. That's not necessarily it. A lot of these people have thrown away the concept of marriage entirely, perhaps. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, it depends on the person. But anyway, that doesn't really answer your question. That just kind of qualifies the situation a little bit. But legally, I guess I'm not familiar with what kind of challenges come up when there's a triad or a quad or multiple people raising children together. But I know that the system does not make it easy for them. I know that even just now, people of mixed gender or non-binary gender relationships are even having trouble themselves getting those kinds of rights within the system, let alone talking about more than 2, participants in a relationship managing that kind of a situation. So I don't know a lot about it, but I imagine that it would be incredibly difficult and a headache the entire way along, is my guess.
In the UK, it was relatively easy.
Was it?
Yeah. Most of the things that you talk about in terms of teachers and schools, they're all specified on forms anyway.
Okay.
It doesn't really deal with parents because everything here deals with parent guardians.
Sure. So
the point is, you just have a list of guardians that it is acceptable to discuss, as long as that's agreed beforehand, and that's done. That's school.
There are certain issues that I'd like to mention, actually, that there are certain legal precedents that my little group of friends have not encountered so much yet, but could, to do with if there were any disputes as to whether they were fit parents, them being in a polyamorous relationship would count against them.
Yes, it would. Potentially.
It wouldn't necessarily mean immediately because they are that. They'd be like, nah, you're not fit parents. But it could be, here is one little tick in a box of, this could indicate you're not.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's something that I think is not right, because it's in many ways beneficial. Because there's another adult there who can do a lot of the care things that are needed.
That's an objectively positive thing. But yeah, and that's probably why I like to talk about this stuff. Not that I have experience with the children element, but like we really do need to destigmatize this. And it's a shame, because a lot of people that I talk to are like, I was dating this guy and he said he was poly, and then he just like fucked a bunch of people, and like I'm really hurt by this and I don't even want to fucking deal with it again. And I'm like, I understand. That guy probably said he was poly, but he's not ethical. Like, that is the clincher. Like, a lot of people are burned from this because they've tried some version of non-monogamy, but the clincher part of this is the ethics of it. And if someone's not behaving ethically, they are not practicing ethical non-monogamy. They're being unethical non-monogamists, which is nothing what I want to. I certainly don't want to be living like
being
that.
A bit shit, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
By the way, Dave, I meant to ask you: is that cornflakes?
Oh, yeah, I see it.
No. It's dark. My light on. No, my green screen's not happy. It's too dark in here. It's going dark.
I was like, oh, I want cornflakes now. That's how advertising works.
I want to do it. No, that's here, in here. Right. I want to do an eclipse experiment on for flat Earth, against flat Earth.
Oh, yeah.
I needed a box that I can make a slit through.
Oh, my God.
Apparently they don't think the Umbra exists.
Oh, dear.
Frosties.
I've been playing a conspiracy theorist in a role play I'm doing. And somebody in the role play asked this conspiracy theorist if he believes the Earth is flat as sort of a joke, question. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. So my conspiracy theorist character then just goes, "No, of course the Earth isn't flat. I tested it myself." Because I'm playing him that he still applies his own mental faculties to it to try to determine whether it's true or not.
That's the other bonus about poly, by the way. My partner that I live with, that I signed a paper with, is very nerdy and loves D&D and video games and that kind of thing, and I'm not really into it. His girlfriend is. And so they love doing all that shit together, and I don't have to fucking deal with it. It's fantastic.
Oh shit, Toblerone, look out.
The Toblerone. Oh,
now there's an important question that I didn't think it was the right sort of question for the main show, because we had a lot of interesting topics to go through in the main show, but Dave would complain somewhere on Twitter if I didn't ask you. Thoughts?
You cut out.
Oh, great. Even YouTube doesn't want me to ask you this question. I thought I'm sure Dave will complain if I don't. So, what are your thoughts on Star Wars?
Star Wars. Well, I'm not like a fangirl of that. I like sci-fi, but a particular kind of sci-fi. I like speculative fiction, which I suppose this is speculative in and of its own sense. But like, I grew up watching, the first movies made, and really enjoyed them, watching them with my dad and stuff. But never, I don't know. It's okay. It's all right. Like, I really like the one. See, this is where my nerd ignorance is going to come out. But I like the one with the girl with the stick and the living in the desert girl.
Yeah,
now he's going to hate you.
You see, we're going to have an issue.
I'm exactly like you. Star Wars it's all right. I say Star Wars. Star Wars. It's all right.
It's okay.
Andrew really likes it, apart from the new ones.
Right. My thing is, I'm what is known as a Legends purist. So anything before Disney took over, I like. Since Disney took over, I'm like, no, I'm destroy you.
That's fair. That's fair.
But
it's just so much to get into. Like, even if I wanted to, like,
it's massive.
I mean, yeah, it overwhelms me to think about ever trying to catch up or be like on par with anyone who knows anything about it. It just seems like I'm way too late to the game. I'm just going to give up and read something else like that. there's not like this huge base of people that are gonna like constantly be better than me and I mean, that's a stupid reason to not be into something, but like,
Well, if you're not into it, you're not into it.
that's fair. Yeah.
You have to excuse yourself not being into something.
Yeah,
Although
no.
you
What
should
would
be
you
into
say
Star
is
Wars.
your
I'll tell
favourite
you
sci-fi?
you're wrong if you're not. So again, Dave,
What'd you say, Dave?
What would you say is your favorite sci-fi then?
stole my follow-up question.
I just finished reading a book called The Name of the Wind. It's the King Killer series by Patrick Rothfuss, I think. I would love to hear if anyone else has read it. There's only 2 books in the series, and I really liked that book a lot.
No, unfortunately not.
No.
No.
I was gonna follow up that question when you stole my follow-up, Dave, with you mentioned liking the speculative sci-fi. Is there a sort of an example of things that you like in that genre?
So to be fair, I'm just starting to kind of get into it because it's a long story, but my education has been very flattened due to many issues, and so I'm just like starting to try to explore some of these things. But I don't know, which one did I read? I think I read a book quite a few years ago called The Sparrow. I think that's what it was called. This like Jesuit priest, like on Earth finds out that there are aliens like on this other planet, and so they send missionaries there.
Oh.
And it's just very, very interesting.
Very colonial.
I know. I just think, white people are the ones with the most recent colonization behaviors that are most impactful right now to the present. However, I think humans in general we just love colonizing shit.
We've all been colonizing each other for millennia, but
yeah,
it's just, we're just, there's aliens. Let's go and tell them the good word. It's like,
I know.
I had someone literally try to tell me the good news on Twitter the other day. It was wonderful. I was just I entered this conversation. I'm like, you haven't seen my YouTube channel, have you?
I get the ones at the moment.
Sorry, I interrupted a bit there.
The scammers. Get a lot of Nigerian scammers at the moment on Twitter, and they tell me over and over again that God has told them to ask me to help them with money.
What did God tell you to do?
The wrong person.
No, but what did God tell you to like? Because could it be like this conversation where like they're like, "Hey, God said this," and you're like, "Oh," and God just said that, and like you just go back and forth saying what God said.
No, normally I just turn around and tell them that they should stop talking to non-existent people, and I'll consider helping them if they admit to me that there's no God. Very few of them are actually willing to do that.
Yeah. I've got $3 million with your name on it if you denounce the Lord your God.
It's like they don't want your money.
I know.
No, they're not very effective scammers, are they?
Ricardo's talking about Lucky Charms. Ricardo, when I was growing up on my birthday, my parents would let us pick a cereal of our own. Like we could pick whatever cereal we want for the day. Mine was always Lucky Charms. Always Lucky Charms. But then I grew up and started making money and started eating Lucky Charms every day, all day. And now it's not as charming anymore because you can have it all the time.
I tried Lucky Charms once, and I found I wasn't so into the little marshmallows. I think.
Well, that's because you're a bad person.
Yeah, you're probably right. But, no,
I broke Dave.
I found I wasn't into the.
I need to put the lights on.
I was too used to the big marshmallows, and the little ones didn't taste the same.
Oh, fair enough. Both of you are in the UK, right?
Yes.
So I was in the UK in September of 2001.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a very long time ago.
I was at university then.
Yeah, oh, okay. I was there because I was in India for my sister's wedding, and then the World Trade Center towers got hit, and so we were only able to make it back to the UK before being able to get back home. So we were stuck in the UK for 5 days, killing time, waiting to be able to go back home. And like this, okay, so this is my biggest, happiest memory of being in the UK was going to the grocery store and finding Pringles that were curry flavored. That was my favorite part of the UK. Thank you,
You have
guys.
other things in the UK, you know.
No, you don't.
They've been on special offer recently, the curry fingers.
Fuck, they're still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they reintroduced them a little while ago. And
Curry is our national dish.
Yeah, because we didn't steal that.
We didn't steal anything from anywhere. I don't know what you've heard.
No.
And those
Certainly not
islands,
still
they
doing it.
were just ours.
Yeah. No one was living there except for a bunch of people we didn't respect.
The early 2000s were like the best period in history in a lot of ways. Apart from the
That's your age.
Thing. Apart from that thing, apart from that, they were pretty good.
Were they?
I
I
mean,
don't know.
Yeah,
again, that's your age.
You had
your particular age.
No, you had such amazing devices. Like you had phones before they all just became a rectangle with a touchscreen. You know, you had things like this phone I'm waving around that you can't see.
I see.
It's under my blanket.
Yeah, the camera that I planted in your room is letting me see.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's an early 2000s Nokia communicator. It's like a smartphone before smartphones were a thing.
We should make UK great again.
And this is the phone that annoys Dave, because when on the rare occasion that I get a text message, which always seems to be when I'm on Critical Questions, it will do the early 2000s phone thing of making very loud "Hello, I'm getting a text message" noises.
I miss those simpler times.
I do. I miss dial-up. This is the worst thing. I miss dial-up.
I could see that.
I don't miss dial-up in terms of the speed, or
No, I don't miss it in terms of the speed. I miss it in terms of the time of day.
Yeah,
there was actually a certain time of day that you could afford to go online.
Yeah,
so you did stuff before, and then you met up with people at a certain time because that's when everyone went online.
That's when the internet
and
was
that
cheap.
stopped.
So I also that's when it was cheap. Yeah, I also don't miss that somebody made a phone call. I'd be in the middle playing like Jedi Academy or something, and it was just the phone but I do miss the sound of the modems.
I miss not being distracted all day. And like having some amount of self-control or like space to actually just like think. And now I feel trapped by my own biology. Like I bought a book called Digital Minimalism like 4 months ago, and I've been too busy on the internet to read it.
I don't tend to use social media on my phone.
Oh yeah?
I use it on my computer.
Yeah.
Which is worse because I'm slowly starting to use Twitter on it, which is probably a bad thing. But normally I don't. So it means that I don't, if I'm going out, I tend to be focusing on something. But I probably I can't follow conversations as easily on a phone. I find it much more, you're hit, all you can deal with is the last message rather than a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So other than if someone I'm having a personal conversation with, it doesn't make, I can't track it. That's me.
That bodes well for your attention, whereas my that you prefer to have a sustained attention. Wow, there's 2 badgers here. What's going on?
I'm getting weird ideas.
Yeah, so what I thought I would do is...
Which badger is that?
I thought I would share my screen. And it said, there is a weird bug in Chrome that occasionally makes it crash when you share your screen. It's very rare. It probably won't happen. But if it does, maybe you should use Firefox. So then as soon as I clicked it, it went crash. So now there's two me's. There we go.
Why didn't you use split cam to share your screen?
Because I want the sound.
Okay.
It was literally just the sound of dial-up internet.
I'm sure that'd be copyrighted somewhere.
They'll probably.
Porn
It was
took
on
forever.
YouTube, though, so.
Have you enjoyed the quarantine?
No,
How bad do you think it's going to get in the winter?
worse. Yeah, much worse. I mean, it's just going to be, it needs to be this. It needs to be this until we get a vaccine. That's really what it comes down to. We need to stay relatively locked down until the majority of the population has been vaccinated. And I don't know where we are on track with that. So I think this is a long haul. This is going to be for a while.
I think the latest news on the vaccine is there isn't one yet.
Yeah, I think they hired some company to do it, some company that had never made vaccines before. So that's good.
One of the vaccines has gone through stage 2 testing,
Oh, yeah?
which means that it has got, it doesn't kill you. It triggers an immune response. Right. The next question is whether or not it actually works.
Yeah.
Okay, so they know that you won't die, and if they put it in you, it'll do something.
Yes.
Nice.
Whether or not it'll actually prevent you catching it, well, that's a whole other. That's stage 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then stage 4 is, does it kill you in 20 years?
No, stage. That's just after. If it passes stage 3, they start making it. Although I actually think they've started making it now, because the gearing up of that is too slow. It's where they can cut corners. I think that basically all the vaccines that they've got at the moment, I think they're starting to make now.
Okay.
And I hope that they work.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get somewhere with that, but we're not.
Yes.
not
Apart
sure
from,
it actually works
there
yet.
is another problem. Did you see the news report out of King's College London?
I don't watch the news. I don't want to die of depression.
You're not going to like this. The drop off in antibodies after a couple of months for people that have had it. Basically, there is no immunity from having had it.
Yeah, I heard that.
So basically, the current American strategy of somehow heading desperately towards herd immunity, it's just not going to work.
Great.
Yeah.
You see, Dave, this is why I don't watch the news. So,
But it also means a
but
traditional
also fuck
vaccine
you.
probably won't work.
Yeah.
It means it's going to need one of the newfangled vaccines.
Yeah, so thank you, but also fuck you. Is what I'm
It's just
saying.
Dave's fault.
You didn't follow up on my other point earlier. But
I
I'll
could have
put it
been
on.
blissfully unaware of that and just gone when the big news that filters through the 15 layers of Twitter eventually reaches me, and they go, "There's a vaccine!" I can just go, "Yay!"
Just remember,
But
one
no,
vaccine
no,
stage-
you're telling me about all the problems of making a vaccine. Mm. Right. So, what was your thing that I didn't follow up on, Dave?
about putting something over a camera.
About what?
To put duct tape over a camera is terrible.
Dave. Do you remember when I said,
Don't ruin duct tape.
if you ruin duct tape for me, I will Toblerone you so hard? You see,
Yeah.
the thing you're saying is that if there's light going into a webcam, it is possible to reconstruct the sound in a room.
Yes.
Now, my response to that is, yes, it's possible.
Yeah.
But I'm generally not trying to not show my webcam to people who know how to reconstruct sound in a room from the flickering of light. I just don't want people looking at like my messy floor when I'm on the critical questions.
You're probably safe then. What did Ricardo say?
But Well, the webcam does tell me when it's on, but I would rather that I was able to completely physically disable it when I don't want to use it. So that
That's
it's
why I
not
told you a power
possible for-
switch.
Yeah, I would like a nice slider that goes over the lens and a button that disconnects it from the motherboard.
Mm.
And I'd like that on phones as well.
Phones aren't allowed big mechanical switches.
I don't give a shit what they're not allowed. My phone is from the early 2000s and has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Close it!
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24,
It's got a keyboard!
29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41.
Thumbs up if you like the video.
55, phones, I've got more.
52, 53,
I'm going to have to get my communicator out just to annoy him.
60, 61,
Oh my
62,
God.
63, 64,
Badger!
65, 66,
Ricardo's like, why do you even bother, Critical Cripple?
Right, let me try and read the chat. Nerdy says, herd immunity, also known as euthanasia of the elderly or anyone with an underlying health
Oh,
condition.
no, there's more.
That sounds about right.
86, 87, 88, 89. It has
12,
89 buttons on it.
On which side?
Oh, wait, no, 90. I forgot the on button.
Aren't you
'Cause
lucky?
It folds out to have a QWERTY keyboard.
Do you know that phone will not survive being put into a glass of orange juice?
Was that part of the plan?
Did I know that phone will not survive being put? Is what I heard.
Put into a pint glass of orange juice.
I suspect that it wouldn't, which is why when I am drinking a pint glass of orange juice, I generally don't hold that phone over it.
No, I had a pint glass on the floor next to the sofa, and the phone fell off. Literally, haven't managed to line itself up and fall straight in, considering the size and shape of the phone. It was impressive. It never worked again.
Oh dear.
Right, what was the other one? Just an idea. What if the immune response is not helpful for SARS-CoV-2, but triggers a previously unknown response to stupidity?
And maybe it'll kill off Trump.
He'll be gone by then, hopefully.
Hopefully. Apart from the fact, have you seen what? Oh, you got more news for you, Badger. Have you seen what he's done to the CDC?
He left.
He has bypassed the CDC for all COVID information. So basically, all hospitals now have to report directly to a database under his control rather than the CDC. So watch out for the America. All of a sudden, America is going to have fantastic numbers. It's going to go down day on day.
We have the best numbers. It's really, really strong. Good. Yes. Really, really impressed with how we're dealing with things.
Yeah.
But, Mr. President, everyone's dead.
Says no one's dying here.
That's not what my database says.
Yeah, the number of new cases is down if everyone's dead.
That's true. That's good.
That's the way. That's the way we're gonna get that.
The number
that
of new
chart
cases
looking
goes down
better.
if we stop testing for them.
Yes.
I see.
There's a meme going around.
People can't tell you your numbers are bad if you don't know the numbers.
There's a meme going around at the moment, a picture of 5 women. It says, one of these women has taken a pregnancy test. How many are pregnant?
I do.
No.
I think like Trump does shit like this all the time, and then he gets everyone upset, and then he has to back off. Like, so he's exhausting us. Like, I think he's intentionally exhausting us and threatening things that he can't pull off and that people won't accept. And so then he has to back away again. Like, how many times has he threatened to do stupid shit and then people yell at him and then he has to be like, well, I didn't really mean it like that. We're going to do it this way, actually. Like, Johnny, I'm sick of winning. Yeah, so much winning.
I don't understand. Well, I do. I thought I understood. I thought he was trying to get over COVID by killing people. If you open everything up in 6 to 8 weeks, it should be over. If everyone gets it, it should be over. People that are going to die are going to die. the people that are going to suffer are going to suffer, and you can go into an election having got past it.
Yeah,
At least that's something.
Then
That's not something.
But if there's no herd immunity, you can't even do that.
No.
Yeah, but then people, and also the long-term effects that nobody's figured out yet for the people who recover.
No, we know a lot of the long-term effects, and we know it's going to be horrific. And again, your country doesn't have any socialized healthcare to speak of.
But that's beyond his election cycle, so he doesn't give a shit. Okay.
Yeah.
By the time the long-term effects manifest themselves, he will have either been elected or not.
I was joking. Trump in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. Yeah.
Do you think he'll end up in jail?
No.
No?
Maybe in a few years after like Biden's taken office and they are actually able to like attack Trump without him being protected.
I don't think he will somehow, but
I think it might be the only deal he's going to get to leave office. Offer him immunity. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to go willingly.
I don't think we're that bad off. I don't think we're that bad off.
No?
I don't think we'll have transition issues.
Oh, I'm convinced you will. Just the stuff he's putting out now.
I just don't think it's that bad. I don't think we've lost entire order.
Dave,
he is desperately trying to make... What?
Don't do it. I can feel you doing one of those. Here are these facts I know that make the situation much worse.
No, all I'm going to say is he's trying to convince the right in America that they are going to lose and it's going to be a fix-up. And I'm not convinced how they're going to respond. I'm not.
We'll find out. We will find out. All I know is that I've been on the streets with people every day for the last month and a half who will not take this shit anymore. And I know that if Trump is reelected, if there's any kind of resistance into leaving office, if he's not reelected, shit will go down. America is not about this. We are wanting to kick him the fuck out. And his followers are extreme and they are marginal. And he's losing followers every day. It's going to end one way or the other. He does not represent America, and he does not represent humanity, and he should not be in charge. And I was talking to my dad about this too, because like I'm not excited about Biden. That's like he's dead on arrival. Like he's got no vision. He is not the progress that we need, but he is the candidate that we have. And I keep on telling my friends, like, do not get complacent if Biden gets into office. I know we're going to be like, wow, this is not Trump at all. But that just means like we need to, now this is our chance to like, our protests are actually going to accelerate things, push things forward and not have this blockade in front of us anymore. But Biden certainly isn't that voice and that vision that this country needs. And so that's why I keep telling my friends, like, let's get Biden into office. That's fine. But like, do not let up on pressuring him to make this country better for everyone and get socialized medicine and that. Jesus Christ, like we need so much change.
Do you think you'll get the Senate?
I'm not informed enough to know. I can't even make a guess.
Oh, we have a person in the. Oh,
Who is it?
Good Lord. I cannot speak today. We have a person in the doodly-doo. It's this person.
Oh, how is
Hello.
you? Have I missed much? I was
Hello.
just on Purple Stream. It just ended, and now here I be.
We've been talking for ages about whatever.
So, is this another American?
Yes.
Hello.
I'm currently living in San Diego. How about you?
I'm in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Do you think there will ever be a regular size soda?
No, just mini.
Okay.
Do you think your city will ever be with Diego?
You know, I'm sure there's actually a lot of Diegos here. There's a very high proportion of Hispanic folks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Yeah.
My knowledge of San Diego is that's where the T-Rex made a mess.
Well, I honestly expected when I moved here to see a lot of anti-Hispanic bigotry, but it really hasn't manifested, and I was surprised and glad.
Oh, there you go. Johnny says we have a chance of getting in the Senate.
Yeah.
More and more conservatives are seeing the emperor has no clothes. People that didn't vote will vote.
Right. If he's wearing those Emperor's No Clothes, I'm not looking. I don't want to see that.
I've already seen Trump naked. People
No.
like to represent him in art as naked all the time to body shame him.
Please don't.
Oh, they had
Please
one
do
of
not do
those
that.
naked Trump statues when I was living in Seattle. I have a picture of me with it.
Yay?
You proud of
Oh,
this picture?
I mean, it's funny
Please.
because I mean, like it's behind me, and I'm sort of pointing derisively at it with my thumb.
Please do
this.
not. Please do not.
No,
show me.
over my shoulder with the thumb, like get a load of this kind of thumb. Yeah, that. Yes, exactly.
Have I seen that picture?
Oh dear.
But honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if this election is won by the left simply because the right keeps killing themselves off by ignoring the disease. Like their voting base is just willingly shrinking themselves.
It's an interesting kind of thing. Just so if we don't do the healthcare, and that'll mean that we can put all the money into the election campaign for our rapidly decreasing voter base. Because they'll get the COVID and they won't be able to afford to go to the hospital.
Yay.
Anyway, so how are you, Barney Dance? How you doing?
I'm all right.
Know each other.
I didn't sleep very well, but I'm okay. It was one of those things like my cats are still not used to each other. And so they have a tendency to get into these death matches. And they decided that my body was the battlefield this morning.
Nice.
So I did not get a lot of sleep, or at least not restful sleep. I woke up, with a lot of adrenaline. But other than that, life's decent right now, I suppose, all things considered. I can complain, but not a lot.
Well, everybody can complain. It's just whether you're actually achieving anything by doing so.
Catharsis.
Everybody's got something
Validation.
to complain about. Just some people have a lot more to complain about.
Well, sometimes it's fun to complain just to piss off other people.
Yeah.
Have you been on my Twitter?
Or have you been on Twitter at all?
Badge is very good at this.
I've been complaining about Star Wars a lot recently.
You haven't done stuff.
don't get me
Have I told you what I thought about Star Wars, Badger?
You mentioned.
You want me to talk about it some more?
I think we could.
I felt like you really liked it.
Which one was your favorite film again?
Like the guy with the light sword.
Are you trying to anger people?
He started it.
Three. What was the 3 books?
The 3 books
You
of
mean the
Star
Zom
Wars.
trilogy?
No. The 3
Not-
books you read on ethical non-monogamy.
Oh, More Than 2, Ethical Slut, and I can't remember the third. Opening Up.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
All of the kids. Oh, good. Dave's writing it in the comments. Thank you. The last one is
We read
Ethical
one of them.
Slut.
Did you put all the links in the comments earlier, Dave? I can't remember.
Did I put any links in earlier? No, I did not.
Okay, I don't know this I Live book, but I've watched They Live. Does that count?
What is I Live?
I live.
I don't know.
I don't think it's quite the same.
Johnny Drive by there said I Live by Mankato Marie.
Oh, he lives by Mankato, Marie.
Oh.
Mankato is a city in Minnesota, and I'm in Minnesota.
Oh, I thought that was I Live by the
Oh, like the
teaching.
book entitled
There's
Mankato
book
Marie.
title, yeah.
Yeah.
Good book, yeah.
And honestly, I tried to pronounce that Japanish, and I guess it didn't work.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to say something and I forgot.
You know, in good political news, in my town, my friend is running for mayor. And I think she has a really good shot of getting it, and she is going to make some huge fucking change. So I don't know what's going to happen with Biden and all that shit, but like there's some races out there that I can feel excited about and put energy into. And I only have control over so many things. And I'm going to die eventually someday anyway. So like if I get too dark about this stuff, I like to remember I like to remember her running and her passion and like having something positive to put into, something pure, like it feels pure, whereas Biden doesn't feel pure. Trump is definitely not pure, but something we can do for our communities instead of being pissed that like those in power are shitty, because that's just always going to be how it is.
Well, I'm going to live forever or die trying.
That makes sense.
But I don't know. The whole presidential race thing right now, it just I keep hoping that like Biden gets COVID and someone else has to replace him, like Bernie.
Yeah. Or like if he gets COVID and like maybe he chooses Kamala Harris or like
God,
Elizabeth Warren.
Oh
or
God, no!
None of them.
Gabbard or
Duckworth?
Andrew Yang.
Oh, you want Yang or Gabbard?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I watched Tulsi on the debate stage, and her policies seem to be about as close to Bernie's as you can get without being Bernie. And Yang is unusual, and I'm not sure I like everything he has to say, but he doesn't have some of the really, truly horrible things in his record that Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren do. So I would prefer him to any of those. Like a lot of people have gotten on my case. They're like, oh, you're not going to be happy with anybody other than Bernie. And I'm like, look, I've got a second choice and to hold my nose and vote for him third choice. So get off my case. It's not all about Bernie.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes.
That's something profound to say.
Oh, no. I mean, yes, go on.
You had something profound to say.
Oh, I did? Oh, shit.
There it was.
I am in my blanket fort, and it's cozy. No, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to ask you something as well, and I forgot what that was as well. So make content for me, people, because my brain has died.
I'm looking around my room.
that's literally what I was doing.
I have a pickle wreck in a bag.
Nice.
I've got Frontline for my cats.
Oh, I need some of that for a dog.
Yeah.
I've got a drinking bottle full of Tang for me. I don't know.
Nice. Oh,
I got fire.
Oh, I have water pistols.
I can't find my little blowtorch. It's really annoying me.
I've got water pistols here, so we've got the fire.
But
and the water
unfortunately, your camera's got duct tape over it, so you can't really join in.
I can. All the stuff is under my blanket.
I've got weed.
Yes, I do too. It's right in here. We went on a road trip last Thursday. We drove from Minnesota to Nashville. Stopped and all along the way, and like nobody's wearing masks at all. It was crazy.
Yep, I went down the shop the other day, and there were probably 50 or 60 people in that shop, and about 3 of them had masks on.
When does our mask thing come in?
Yes.
Well, it's now becoming law that you've got to wear a mask in a shop.
I think it might be the 23rd or 24th or something like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, in like a load more days for people to get the thing.
I might need a mask. I've only got disposable ones.
And you're going to get towed around.
Well, I mean, I've got some cloth ones rather than the disposable ones, but A, I have a lot of disposable ones, but 2, I'm not sure like exactly how I'm supposed to wash the cloth ones exactly.
You just rinse them basically and wring them out and put them out to dry.
So you don't need like disinfectant on them or something?
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't know.
They're not like the thingy masks. They're not fantastic. They're basically just reducing the amount of.
To stop you spraying droplets everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would be a tiny bit worried that there'd be like bits and pieces of COVID on them from other people, obviously.
COVID only
But
lasts a few hours on them.
You got to wash them and then just leave it for a bit.
Well, I mean, soap is it breaks down the bilipid layer on the outside, and then it can't survive. So it doesn't take a lot to just get it off of, just to run it through the laundry.
I agree with Ricardo. I'm thinking of getting doing like a proper steampunk face thing that has the mask, that the proper mask materials in it. So that then I'm there whenever maybe even like a removable mask layer for the actual functional bit, and then just like a steampunk face covering over it.
It's building. I'm kind of liking them now because I don't have to like visually engage with people when I go into stores. I can just like be in my own world, and as an introvert, to not have to like do this thing like in the hallways and just anonymously just kind of like go through. And I say that with privilege because I know people of color are not experiencing the same kind of experience wearing masks in public places. But that said, I'm kind of enjoying part of that, like just being able to be a little bit anonymous and private.
I'm trying to get the mask thing. I'm trying to like push it as much as I can everywhere, so that everyone starts wearing them when they become normal, and we can keep doing it afterwards. And I don't have to greet people in the shop anymore.
Well, okay. See, I am not the biggest fan of my looks. I know a lot of people tell me I'm being silly. I don't care. I'm my biggest critic when it comes to that. However, with a mask on, I think I'm kind of a sexy bitch. like there's something hot about like a mask on. Like I guess it's my eyes or something. I don't know, but
I could see that.
like me without a mask or with
Why aren't you on
mask
camera? You're normally on camera by this time of day.
Yeah, well, I've let my hair get into massive amounts of disarray. I'm suffering from a severe appearance deficit. So,
I
no,
like that picture that you put up.
Okay.
I like.
He's gone again.
You had all the what am I talking about? You had like all the padding on, like the elbow pads and stuff, and the mask on. It just says this is not the and like disinfectant spray in your hand, and it said this is not the kind of apocalypse I signed up for.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a lot less sexy.
Yeah, that's
Where
one
are
of
our
my favorite
zombies?
pictures from lately.
And I hope I saved that picture because I'd totally share it if it's kicking around somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is.
Doorknob says masks are the internet of the face.
Yes. I like masks a lot, and I'm hoping that we can make them normal, like the people over in the Asian countries, so we can just go, okay, we just wear masks now, and then people don't have to keep trying to like look at my face and try to figure out what expression I'm making. They can just piss off and do their own thing while I'm trying to pick out which orange is not rotten.
The problem is people are going to learn to read the eyes better.
Yeah, well, I wear sunglasses, so they can go fuck themselves.
So, Bajere, share screen, please.
There it is.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, I if it's going to be an apocalypse, I want my road warrior, darn it. I want my Mad Max, not this stay at home and have a disease and cleanse everything nonsense.
Yeah.
Did you get your license yet?
No,
Road
I was
license?
about to, and then this whole thing hit, and you're fucked in the head if you think I'm going to stand in the DMV for a couple of hours trying to get it.
You won't be able to drive in the apocalypse.
I'm
the
pretty sure
apocalypse,
that the cops are not going to be a factor during the apocalypse. Maybe it's just me.
In the apocalypse, they're not going to be checking licenses. They're going to be trying to run you off the road for your baked beans.
No, I'm going to be out there checking licenses. Just
Right,
as public service.
You
while you're doing that-
vigilante.
Then
While
I'm
you're
glad
doing
you're
that,
way
I'm
the
gonna
heck
take the
over
baked beans.
there.
While
They
you
have
check
lots
the
of votes here, I will
licenses, I'll
come
be
there
stealing
just
your
to-
beans. They will be my beans now.
beans. I'm going to go up to the Lake District in the apocalypse.
All of the beans will be mine.
Are they good for your heart?
Yes. They have certain other properties as well.
They make you fart?
Yes.
So,
Yes, well, the more you fart, the better you feel. So have some beans with every meal.
Maybe not every meal.
Every meal.
I don't think I can do Polly anymore.
no, I was going to say, you recognize the badger's hiding based on the cloud of.
There is
Wow.
kind of, there's a haze in there of
Yeah.
methane.
I prefer the term miasma.
It certainly sounds more exotic.
It does.
Apparently, Doorknob's in love with me because I
Is that
talked
your
about
ball
farting.
floating in space, Dave?
Yeah, the
It's not spherical though.
No, it's not.
It's almost like it popped.
Yes. It burst at the top.
That's how balls burst, I guess.
That was one of the best videos ever. Just midway through talking, just
Oh my god.
everyone's there going, "Where's he gone?"
It was perfectly innocent. Right. I really should go.
I think you should stay forever.
You think I should stay?
That's not ethical, Badger.
I've
Yeah,
been
but,
sat in my chair.
My agents are in the middle of taking all his beans, so if he goes now, he might discover them.
Poor Dave can't even drink his water.
No.
Ah.
You know, it's
thought
funny.
you had
Much like Jens, there are now too many Daves in the YouTube atheism scene.
Yes. There are. Well, let's say now there are too many CCs as well.
The Daves kind of keep the Daves the Daves are territorial, is what I'm trying to get to. They've got their own sort of territories within the scene.
I don't encounter many Daves.
You got Worley. You know, he does his thing, and
He's David.
And I left him in the ocean. And then we've got you, and you do your Quistons. And who else is there? What are the Daves out there?
Oh, Compelled Unbeliever is another one.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
he?
Yep.
I didn't know that. I only knew
I
he was
just
compelled.
learned that this morning. I was this morning years old when I learned that.
Well, you've got to go then.
You should send the
Well,
Toblerone.
I think from now on we should just call you Stan.
Why Stan?
Why not?
Good point.
I don't know.
No.
I think that Stan is a funny name, kind of like Phil. Phil is a funny name.
I used to work with a guy called Phil. He was all right.
How many beans did he give you?
Unfortunately, none. Because I'd already
Could be that
taken
good
them
of a guy.
all. No, he didn't have any because I'd already took them all.
Oh.
That's Bob in the spacesuit.
Looks
See-
like the Joker from here.
Bob isn't a funny
Right.
name. Bob is just that guy in the office that, like, looks a little dumpy.
But if you have somebody called Large Bob, on the other hand,
Large Bob.
yeah,
Is he large
There
or
was
is he close up?
both. He's large, and the gravitational force has drawn you close up. But yeah, there is a badger, picture of a badger on Twitter who's known as Large Bob.
Oh, that's the one
You know
that's
Large Bob.
not called Bob.
Large Bob.
I thought her name was now Large Sue.
No, it's Large Bob. Hang on, let me find Large Bob. Here is Large Bob.
You're gonna crash again, aren't you?
Here is Large Bob,
That's a badger.
Yes.
and this is his third breakfast.
Is there more to the picture that your name is covering up that he's eating for breakfast?
Yes.
Yes.
Please provide no further details. Thank you.
It's easy. She is pregnant.
Sorry, what was that?
She is pregnant.
Oh,
Bob?
Yeah. Large Bob.
Dave, don't worry about
so
that.
you're saying Large Bob is going to get larger?
No, I'm saying Large Bob's not going to get much larger.
Dave.
She
Dave,
might get a lot
Dave,
smaller very soon.
Dave, you know this thing you do.
You.
just kind of. Now here is the situation, and then I can see the build up of just here is some factual information that will completely mess up your scenario and the whole situation that we're doing here, and you're Stephen Frying it is what I'm saying.
I don't know what you mean.
But here's some factual information.
I like to know things. And we talked about Bob before.
I like to know things too, but it's usually things people don't want me to know.
Mhm.
I want to know when someone's going to hack this database.
Which one?
Cops.
Yeah.
The COVID one.
He's probably going to have to hack it to get into it.
The problem is I fear that he's not going to have an actual database. I fear he's just going to dump the data straight away and then make up numbers. Then there's nothing to hack.
He's a fucking idiot. Anyway, so while we're here, there was more to that sentence. Where the fuck's it gone?
I liked how it started.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
I'm
decisive
riveted.
and
It
confident.
sounded like he knew exactly where he was going.
Yeah.
Was
it
that part of the
decisive
joke
and
that he didn't
confident.
know?
Unfortunately, it went away.
Well,
So-
as long as we're here, let's cheer.
How's your
Yes.
animation coming?
I don't know why that's what occurred to my head, but it did.
Kate, how's your animation
We
coming?
all screamed. on the screen.
Fairly well, although I did take a break from the actual animation part because there was a set I hadn't built yet. It's sort of a retro lab looking place, and it's been difficult just because I don't know lab equipment very well, so I'm making up a lot of it just out of whole cloth.
Oh, did you get a voice for your voice?
Yeah, every voice has been cast. There's one
Outstanding.
person who needs to send me one line, and then I have a whole of the dialogue left or done. I mean,
I have to go.
Excellent.
well,
Oh,
be
that
sure to
was-
wipe.
That was the cops for Dave, by the sounds of it.
Well, that was on my end, so probably not.
So it's close enough.
Okay.
So you got all the voices sorted out. People with nice quality mics.
Yeah. Like I say, just one exception, and when she sends me that last line, we're good. We're set.
Excellent. Yeah, because unfortunately I couldn't get it without the background hiss.
Yeah, that was a shame.
That's
But
that's
the guy
trouble,
I
think.
actually got for that part
Mhm.
turned out to be like a professional voice actor, and he did a
Ooh.
really kick-ass job. So,
Fancy.
yeah.
Oh, it worked out okay then, by the sounds of it.
Yep. I mean, he, no joke, sounded like a Disney character more often than not. Like, imagine if Shere Khan was a soccer hooligan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Conversation.
Well, I have to pee.
Let's talk about
No. I mean,
All right.
no.
that. You do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I think if we can think of a few more things to chat about, we'll keep going a little bit longer. and then we'll probably wrap up.
Yeah,
Okay, for everybody?
I've got a protest in an hour and a half that I have to go to, so my peeing is probably going to be my exit.
All right.
Right.
Well,
Well, then
anything else
I
anyone
have
wants
to ask
say?
a question then before
Ooh,
you go.
do so.
Sure.
Okay. So when you're done and you stand up, do you fasten zip or zip fasten?
Fasten, zip, or zip fasten. I think I zip fasten.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. Also, as long as we're on the topic, everyone who has the financial wherewithal, get a bidet. Because it's life changing.
I have the money for it. I don't have the space.
Oh, no. You can get like an accessory, like a set. If you go to Tushy,
Oh.
and you can buy an accessory that you just install for $70. Life changing. I had a friend stay with me for a couple of days during the riots, and he was so sad when he had to go back to his apartment because he was going to miss our bidet.
It's funny. My grandmother had a bidet, and the first time I saw it, I was so boggled because I'd never seen one before. And I went to my dad. I'm like, Dad, is that one of those urinal things?
I do have a comment on this bidet situation, which is if you're going to get a bidet, get one that works right. Don't get one that the one I have does. And what the one I have does is when you first turn it on, the water is not warm, and it squirts a jet of ice cold water very powerfully right up you. Following which, after perhaps 10 seconds, it becomes like it's being poured out of a kettle. Still the same velocity. So don't get one of those. Get like a good one.
Well, it all matters on like which pipe you plug it into. Like ours only does.
I'm not sure you should be
water.
plugging it into any of your pipes.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Especially not with how fast the jet of ice cold water comes out.
It's a permanent medical
that
device.
was innuendo.
No, I know. I'm with you. I'm yes anding you. I'm here. I'm here for this.
All right.
But the thing with it's because of how part of it is because of how the water heater works. It doesn't keep like a supply of hot water. It warms it on the fly, so it takes a few seconds before it starts coming out warm. And the second thing about it is the thing is too powerful for its own good. It feels it's in a spot where it should be gentle, and it's there like, oh, we'll just gently we'll just douse you a little bit so that we can remove the particles. But it feels like you've got the fireman's turned up and he's got the wrong he's got the wrong instructions. It's just right.
I want to hire
down.
you to record the voice for the self-aware bidet, the one that's talking and like we're just gonna spray you with a little bit of water. My name is Badger, and I'm your bidet for the day.
I don't know. I think we should get an Australian voice that's like when you turn it on, it goes bidet, mate.
I could definitely do with an Australian voice for my day, but. What I've got, I think, is a Scottish fireman, and he's just there. He's just in there, like, all right, lad, we'll hose you down good. And it's not comfortable.
I wish I had something I knew about Scottish people so that I could contribute to this joke, but I don't. All I know is what I've seen from sketch comedy.
Well, if you don't aim properly, it might turn out that it's a Thailander.
We see, with talking about bidet, we're not in a situation where I want only one.
What if it had a camera on it? Would that help?
No. I'm already a very private individual.
What if it had like 80 buttons on it?
I don't need a video of my bum.
How do you know unless you try? Be open-minded, man.
There's certain experiences that I think I'm fine without. For example, I could fall out of the window, but I think I won't.
I think you just don't want to.
You're
I
on the
do.
spot.
Yeah. Let's gaslight him.
If I fall out the window, I'll land in the pond. It'll be wet. And the frogs will be flat.
Okay, I got to pee now.
Well, I hope it all comes out okay.
You
You know, in the end.
You
In the end.
enjoy that.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Okay, everybody. I think we should wrap
Right.
up. Does anyone have things to say to the peoples?
If you can't be good, don't get
One
caught.
critical question.
Yeah. Right. So, who is everyone, and where can we find you?
Say that again.
You, where am find for internet?
Yes. Okay. Sure. Why not?
Who are you?
Talk about
I'm very
yourself.
confused at the moment.
Talk about where people can find you on the internet.
Oh, gosh.
Chill.
Was that what you were
Chill
saying? Okay.
yourself. That's
Sure.
The
Bionic
internet.
Dance on YouTube. Find me and subscribe, puny mortals.
Otherwise, that rocket thing will happen.
Rocket thing?
Yeah.
See my ball? See my ball in full?
Have you not watched Bionic Dance's outros?
Oh, yeah, that
yes.
was supposed to be like an ICBM, is what that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. That'll happen to you if you don't subscribe.
Yes.
seen it. Dave, where can people find you? What's the business?
Critical Cripple on the internet. That's it. Come watch the quiz tomorrow.
At some point, I will be in another one of them, but
Tomorrow.
possibly I may be in the loft again.
Did you not finish the loft?
It's going to take weeks.
Are you itchy?
I was, then I showered.
That usually doesn't help.
It worked for me, apart from one finger.
One finger.
Yeah,
Where
that's
did
I
you
think
say
I know
that?
which finger.
that is apparently now full of glass fiber. I don't know why just that finger.
Because you've got something speared in it.
All right, so you can find my guest today, who is known on the net as Marie de Lefant.
Marie de Lafont.
That's the one. You can find her on the links in the description. And you can find me as Bad Temper. Well, you know where you can find me. You're on my channel. But also, I'm now available on MySpace.
Wait, MySpace is still a thing?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
where bands go to talk to each other.
Oh.
I didn't have MySpace.
I mean,
yeah.
that's like saying, like, hey, check out my AOL account.
I'm disturbed how many people still have an AOL account.
Yep. Well, basically, I discovered that MySpace was still a thing, and people were having a laugh about it. So I was like, I'm making a MySpace account. So now I have Bad Tempered Badger on MySpace, and you can go there for absolutely nothing because I haven't put anything on it yet.
You put more there than I would have done.
Oh, I've got like an avatar on there, so you can look at that, and it's nice. Right, thanks for coming, everyone. Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you very much, Bionic Dance, Kate, for joining me on this after party. Thank you to Marie, who's gone already. Bye.
Bye.
Catch you like the plague.
Ah, please don't.